Welcome back again. Another morning insider is here again. Happy Tuesday. Bless up to everybody, bless up to everybody in the Tuesday morning. Look, remember, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, you understand? But yeah, the morning insider show is here. You don't know, loads of stuff to talk about, you know. And look, it's going to be a proper show as usual. You don't know, JPL in 5, you know. We're going to talk about, you know, Khadija Shaw absence, you know, Cephas incident in Turkey in the game that played yesterday as well. And we're going to talk about the whole failure of the U17 team, the whole quota system, you understand? So we will be right back after this video clip and jump right into the video.
Is one of us as Jamaicans, so I told her it's hard to support her, but I have to support her. You know what I mean? But she's great and she has done extremely well for the country and represent well for the country. So.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you, how big a star is Bunny back home and what is she doing for girls football?
For me, it's massive, you know what I mean? It's always so much to have somebody that the youngsters can look up to, or the young girls can look up to, you know what I mean? Because I think in the world of the women football is really developing and getting big, and Jamaica is a small island, so to have a superstar like Bunny Shaw in Jamaica is somebody you can aspire to be like. It's just a big deal.
Yeah, look, you know, we're going to start off, you know, with JPL in 5, you know, the 2 Monday night games played in, you know, in Montego Bay at Catchinall, the west side of the island. Look, first game, you know, brutal from Mount Pleasant, you know. Look, humble and look down and hold, you know, the attitude of the players on the pitch, you know, could say it all. But look, Alex Thomas have a tough task to get these players, you know, mentally ready again for the next game, you know. But I mean, when you look at it, man, you know, Mount Pleasant, you know, look, rock and roll in football, you know, excited football, you know. Look, it's very good, you know, excited. As I said, you know, players are enjoying, you know, the moment, players are enjoying themselves, you know. You could see the possession is rolling on, and he's like, you know, is that the Tapa team or is it a Davian Ferguson team, you know? But I mean, it's expected because they have very good quality players, you know, in their squad. So I mean, look, 18 win of the campaign. Meanwhile, Umberland, yeah, this is their 13th defeat of the season, you know. They rock bottom and they're more than a couple of games away from, you know, getting out of the relegation zone, you know. I think it's like 5-6 points away from the relegation zone, you know. Then so it's a couple of games, you know. I mean, but you know, look, kudos to Tapa with more, you know. When you meet a team like that, you know, is down and hold, you understand, you know, low of confidence, that's how you deal with them, you understand, you know. And some very good goals scored, you know, in this game as well, you know. This young kid, you know, this young teenager at Mount Pleasant been making some wave this season, and he looked like a really good, you know, promising player, you understand. Look, really excited to me more than, you know, we see a Devante, you know, when he was coming through the senior team, you know, a few seasons back for Mount Pleasant. But you know, look to see, you know, more kids coming through the academy at Mount Pleasant. But you know, look, Alex Thomas have a tough task, you know. The team, no fighting, you know, the attitude of the players. Look, when you in a relegation, you know, battle, you know, you're fighting for your life, you're fighting to stay up in any top flight division, you have to have the right attitude, you know. Look, you have to make it tough as possible. And I just think that, you know, the lack of pressing on the football, you know, Mount Pleasant, you're just having their way in the middle of the pitch, you know. So you could say, you know, a number of factor of things, but you know, Alex have to go get back into these players' mind, you know, try to throw away this game that they played, you know, yesterday versus Mount Pleasant in the garbage bin and focus on the next game. Look, Umberland next couple of games, you know, they have Waterhouse, they have Dumbarton, they have Veer, and they have actually a Arba View. I think after that they will play Cavaliers. So the next 4 games they will look to probably pick up around at least 4 points, you know. If they cannot get at least 4 points, look, it's going to be very tough for them to get something, you know, out of the rest of the games that left back in the division, you know. But look, more likely some people would say they have 1 foot, you know, out, you know, looking into play, you know, the championship zone, you know, next season, yeah. But moving on to the next game, Moby versus Tivoli, you know. Look, you will say comfortable win, you know, manager bounce, you know. Before we move on any further in the video, you know, Dylan Tillwell, this is his 3rd stint as, you know, as a man in charge, you know. This is his 3rd stint as an interim manager, you know, for Montego Bay, you know, United. He have done it, you know, in 2007 2017 in January. You know, you have done it in December of 2018. You know, a couple of games managed. You know, so he has been that man for Montego Bay over the last couple of years. He's been there for more than 8 years, you know, so this is his third stint as an interim manager. You know, big up to Dylan Tillwell, you know, but look, manager Bones, you would say, yeah, I mean, a few fans are still a little bit flabbergasted of what happened, you know, with, you know, Rodolfo Zapata. I think, you know, he have, you know, carried that baton really well, picked it up from the Brazilian, and I think the team is in a good condition, you know. I mean, look, this team is a well-drilled team, and it's well structured, but look, you know, a lot of things happen in the game. You know, a couple of goals, you know, some wonderful goals, you know, a couple of free kicks. Why so many free kicks are flying in the JPL, you know, over, you know, the last couple of days? Yet 2 in the game last night versus Mobi and Tivoli. You know, Nikolai full of beautiful free kick, you know, wonderful player. You know, Owen Turtleman Gardner as well, you know, wonderful free kick as well. You know, his goal drought is over, you know, but, you know, Fletcher came off the bench and got his first goal, but everything just looked rosy and merry for Mobile United at this moment. But look, you know, Tivoli, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Tivoli, you know, is haven't won a game in their last 8, I think. You understand? When you look at it, you know, this is their second, you know, worst running, you know, equal, you know, what they did earlier in the season, second worst running in the champion. You know, 6 games now without a win. You know, so Jerome went have some whole heap of mess to clean up. But I mean, you look at it, man, this don't look like a Jerome Wade team. You know, this team is just look all over the place tactically. They just don't look like they understanding what Jerome Wade is trying to do. But I see, you know, look, Mobi started out with like a 4-3 4 at the back, 3 central midfielders, and a number 10, and also 2 strikers, you know, in that formation. Is like, you know, they are not playing with natural wingers. You know, Weatherly and Chanel Thomas was up there, you know, playing as a striker, and I think Ferrer was playing, you know, behind the 2 strikers. And you know, I was looking at, you know, I think it was Steve Clark and Nikolai Fuller was playing on both flank for Tivoli, and it's like they just couldn't get the ball, you know, on the touchline. They couldn't keep the width, you know, try to stretch this Mobile team, try to pull them away, you know, from that compact midfield. I just think that, you know, this team is not doing what Jerome Wade is asking for. I think, you know, this is not how Jerome Wade coach a team. And when you look at it, you know, Tivoli, I think Tivoli needed an experienced striker, someone that can score goals in and out, number 9, you know, someone that knows to get the goals in. You know, I think, you know, loan out Justin Dunn to Cavalier, it would have been a good, you know, transfer to get someone in, like an experienced player, someone to put the ball in the back of the net. But they're just going to have to carry on this pattern. They just have to take themselves out of this rut, you know. But you know, that's it for, you know, JPL in 5. That's it for JPL in 5. You know, bless up to the people as well ask for the JPL in 5. We're going to move on to the rest of the show. You know, Ronald Cephas, you know, his second game after, you know, after lengthy spell on the touchline. You know, look, a red card and an assist in the game yesterday. You know, he came off the bench, you know, create a little bit of spark. Yeah, create a little bit of spark. You know, he's talking about both sides of the game, effect. You know, I think, you know, when you look at it, man, you know, assist and a red card in the last couple of minutes of the game. But when you look at the red card, though, you know, I think the first yellow card is a little bit harsh, as you guys can see the video up on the screen, you know, the footage, whichever one I found and put up. You know, when you look at it, man, it's kind of a little bit harsh. You know, even the second one, you know, running off the ball, I don't think he deserves push the player. Like, why would you push the player? The player is nowhere in your way. You know what I mean? It's just silly, and maybe it's just frustration because this team is closer to the relegation. You know, they're nowhere near where they want to be at the table at this point. So maybe it's just frustration, but I could understand the first one, you know, trying to dribble out, and you know, that is a regular thing. But the second yellow card, I just don't think it's really necessary, and I just think it's on the. I think I probably could blame Ronald Cephas for that. Yeah, but moving on. Look, the REGGAE Girls squad have named the 2 games coming up. I think it started February the 23rd. Against Peru. Big name absence. Khadija, Bunny, Shaw, Seria A as well. Both players are managing workload. Newcastle is going through some ruthless of injuries right now. Yeah, but especially Man City. I have said it yesterday on the show that look, City women team have 8 games scheduled for next month coming up after the international break, and it could if they advance, I think if they advance to the Champions League, and maybe it can add another game in that month as well. I'm not sure, but for now, it's 8 games for Manchester City women team. And look, Khadija Shaw have spoken after the game, the post-game show after the Liverpool game, and talk about talking about workloads. Players need to go out on international duty. It's going to be a hell of a month coming up next month. And listen to what Khadija Shaw have to say about that.
Finally, we are entering that final running stage towards the conclusion of the season, and I'm just wondering how everyone's feeling now, because you've got players back, you're getting more back hopefully soon.
Yeah, after the internationals, a difficult run of games, and we're gonna need everyone, especially now. So I think everyone going away with their international teams. I think we just have to be smart, and when we come back, we know that it's gonna be a difficult period. But yeah, I think once we stick together and work hard as a team, we know that we can do good things.
That's Khadija Shaw speaking, and the absence. Why? I mean, I guess she was giving us some hint that she won't be available for this sets of games for the game in Peru, Lima. I think it's well needed, because it's acceptable on my terms, in my own eyes. It's acceptable, going to Peru, different climate. Peru it's quite a journey from Europe. You understand? I mean, altitude, different weather, different climate. I just think, coming back off an injury, dealing with so much different type of stuff in her career at this moment. I just think, if she needed a break, if she needed time to recuperate and rest and recover, 100%. It's acceptable, so now Hubert Busby can look at more players and look at the French players, and it's just a friendly. I mean, quite a few players are there. Drew is there, Blackwood is there, quite a few. Kayla McKenna is there. But yeah, moving on from Bunny Shaw, look, the big failure, the quota system, that who's to blame for this under 17 failure in Guatemala. Look, we have El Salvador, we have St. Lucia, we have Cayman Island. There's 3 games to get to a World Cup. Look, you can't ask for anything better than this. You can't ask for anything better than this. Where in the world would you play just 3 games to get to a World Cup final? You understand? A World Cup, I mean, World Cup final is a World Cup tournament, for who don't know, but who's to blame? If you look at it, preparing probably roughly around a year now, this team is preparing. So many things gone into this preparation. So many different players come in and out. You don't really want to put too much blame on the players. You don't want to put too much blame on the coaching staff. It's a collective of different stuff that needed to go in, and why we didn't feel that. People could say it's tactically, the coaches made a lot of mistake. And look, El Salvador have hurt us so badly. They hurt us so badly in our own weeks, but they dropped us in our side in our weak areas. Meanwhile, us trying to do different things, playing to our strength, but we're not trying to penetrate enough the away teams, the opponent. We're not trying to penetrate them as much on their weak side. Try to pulsate them a lot more, jab them like you're playing a boxing game. You understand? I mean, there's different thing. I think, when you look at it, how our players are developing, over the years, I just think the versatility of a lot of different players outside of our region, talking about reggae football. When you look at Haiti, when you look at Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, all these Central American teams, look, their young players have a different tenacity about them. So I'm just saying, the development in our youth players, I just think more needs to go into that as well. Youths at this age, they are very coachable. I remember when I was a youngster at this age, even just being around different training camps, the build up for 2011 World Cup, in Mexico, for when I was a young reggae boy at that time, look, there's so much going to your head, the coach, can get so much out of you, the coach can even get you as a youngster, as a young 16-year-old, at that time, you can run through a brick wall for the coach because you're looking to get into a World Cup campaign, you're looking to get into a World Cup tournament, so a lot of things need to get done, but when you look at the development, the structure, the young, I think it was the youth 15 or the youth 14 team the other day won as a Caribbean, championship. I don't remember if it was the 15 or the 14. What structure those players played and what structure this under 17 team is playing? Is it that they're coming from the same structure as a team? Is it the same philosophy where players can get integrated, into can make that step up from under 15 to under 17? I know next year again will be a next, World Cup again. It will be a next qualification round. So there's a lot of things need to go in how we prepare these sets of players. And look, the administration staff, they're going to have to look into themselves and they have to get things right. This is a learning curve. You can't really blame Altiman Butler too much, but we just want to, take the positive from these stuff and, go into the next tournament. But again, this is the best round or the best sets of teams that we could have drawn against, El Salvador, one of the weakest teams in Central America when it comes on to the young teams that I saw in this tournament. You understand? Cayman Islands, St. Lucia. What next? What if we go into a zone in Canada, Mexico, and the US? That's it again. Next year again, 2026. What if we join against, Mexico, Canada, and the US? It's over again for us. There's no more World Cup. So you just have to hope and buy your luck. But the whole quota system, I have made a few reach outs. I reach out to someone who is connected to the Dominican Republic youth system, who help develop players at a young age, over there in DR as well. I reach out to someone in Grenada, and I got back a few responses. I also reached out to a few coaches that's here in the US that develop young players, and I asked them about the quota system, and it's like, look, to have a quota system and a young and a 15 and a 17 team, just say academy team at the national level, it's so bad. You want your best players to be in the system. You understand? When you have a quota system, I just feel like you're just picking whoever is a Jamaican and who is not a Jamaican, and you're telling different players that, look, you can't get in because there's a quota system. I just think we just need to have the best players at all levels. You need to select the best players at all costs, and I just think this quota system is kind of hurting, and this is coming from the administration, the president, the GenSec, especially the man the chairman for the committee board, Mr. Rudolph Speed. This is all about giving different players the exposure. I just don't understand why would you put a quota system on any national level. I just think that at national level, once you have a Jamaican passport, you are a Jamaican. It doesn't matter if you locally are you in the diaspora playing your football in the academy. Once you're good enough, you need to get selection. And we need to change on how we select players. We need to change on how we pick a starting lineup. Not because this player is going to that school. Look, man, these people are playing with the football. You understand? This World Cup, we should be in this World Cup. And look, there is a lot need to go in. I think probably you need answers from the administration, and I think it's the preparation is just not getting games for the youth team, having them together. It's how you develop them. It's how you give them that education and can move to the next level. When I I'm watching the AFC, that's the Asian Under-20 Championship, and I'm looking at players from Indonesia, Thailand, some Southeast Asian team, Singapore, and I'm looking at a lot of these 18, 17 years, and I'm looking at the players that we have locally in our Under-20. Those players over there in Asia, they are well more equipped and more educated within the game than our players in this region, so the football is moving past the reggae boys quickly. And talking about reggae boys, I'm so furious, I'm gutted, I'm really mad that these youngsters didn't get this opportunity to play in a World Cup. I mean, a couple of them will get the experience and move on and go to the next qualifying round. But again, if we join into a group with USR, Canada, and Mexico, that's hasta la vista. Again, we're going to talk about the next year until the next year, and then we just can't find ourselves in another World Cup. And put this to own. Look at the 2026 qualifiers that's coming up for the reggae boys. After the 2 games coming up, in June, what's next? In September, October, and November. This is a wake up call for the administration staff, the reggae boys, who is looking over the football in Jamaica. Who is the reggae boys technical director? I heard that Mr. Donjo is the last time I heard he resigned. He resigned from his post. So I mean, look at it. You're going to have Panama, you're going to have Honduras, you're going to have Guatemala, you're going to have a couple of these teams, and guess what? In that final round of the senior men's World Cup qualifier for 2026, it's the top 3 teams in A, B, and C will go through, and then you will have the 2 best runner-ups that will play the inter something, another playoff, and you don't really want to go there. That is another tournament itself. You understand? So we're looking at it now like, look, this reggae boys U17 team failed in our group with El Salvador. You could probably say the least talented. I mean, they are talented, but when you look at Panama, even Costa Rica, oh my God, then I think even 80 team is better than this El Salvador team. So we got a zone, and I think we were seeded in this zone as well. 8 teams from CONCACAF, and we are not in the World Cup. That's ridiculous. You understand? That's ridiculous. You don't just want to blame Altiman and the coaching staff alone. I mean, some of the blames have to go to them and how they approach in the game, but the administration have to get a lot of blames as well. You understand? And man, look, a percent of the beating have to go to the players as well. They, you could say, probably they choke in that environment. They didn't deliver after equalize one, go 1-1 in the game and just want a point. But looking at it, man, back to the World Cup, top teams from the 3 groups, the 12 teams will join into those 3 groups, and the top teams in each group will advance to the 2026 World Cup. We cannot make a mess, we cannot make a mockery, and that's what happened over the weekend on Saturday night in Guatemala should be a wake-up call for Jamaican football. Because listen, we're not going to have a better opportunity. And if a lot of people said it's an easier road, it's a more softer campaign, it's more suitable for the reggae boys to get into a World Cup. But listen, playing in a group where it's only the top seed team will advance automatically to the World Cup, I think it's very tough. It's a very, very tough group. It's not like the group where the octagonal, where you have like 10 teams and you're going to play probably just say 8 teams, 10 teams. They're going to play so many games home and away, so everybody are going to play. It's just 4 teams in our zone. What if we join against Panama and Guatemala in our Costa Rica? You don't know, in one zone. Reggae boys, Costa Rica and Panama in one zone. One of those teams will not be in one of those spots to go to the World Cup. You understand? So I mean, the draw, just have hope to get a favourable draw, for the senior men's team. But I mean, the under 17 team get a favourable draw against St. Lucia, Cayman, and El Salvador, and we just cannot make it. But hopefully, this is a wake-up call for Jamaican football, and we need to make sure that this quota system, need to get rubbish. I hope they can remove this quota system. It's just not good. You're just telling me that you're just picking players that who you think you want to be in the team. You said, maybe 5 or 7 overseas players need to be in the squad or whatever it is. I think, when I talk to people, they're like, they heard about the quota system around the REGGAE team, and it's like, that is tarnishing the selection of players that you can pick. The REGGAeboyz have a wide variety of selection of pools where we can pick players from. We have so many players in the MLS academies. We have so many players in academies in England, and we have such a good quality pools of players that in Jamaica as well. So if we can combine the best quality players that need to be in a squad to qualify for a World Cup, let's pick the best players. No quota system, and who want to have them players play enough games for the national team. It's just damaging, the squad. It's just damaging, the whole process and the preparation, but I mean, that's where I leave it, man. Thanks for watching. You don't know, the quota system need to get rubbish. Yeah, Rudolph Speed, the quota system need to get rubbish. It's tarnishing. Yeah, it's a detrimental to the whole system itself. But thanks for watching. This is Nicardo Media House, and I'm out. Salute.